Right, okay, time to build this domicile shell, which I'm really hoping will be a very easy build. So, partly because it's push fit, and when these things go together easily, they really do go together easily. Right, start off with this big bit here, which is number 1. The only problem with this, well, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. First of all, it's great that it's really, really big. Because that means that we're going to get through this hopefully quite quickly. On the other hand, I can see a huge mould line running along this. So I'm going to be a bit worried about tidying that up. Let's just see how it goes. Right. So let's just have a look and get this nice and clean. You can see that there's just a lot of injection points all along it. In fact, I think this might be a job for a proper knife, because there's a lot of hard injection points along this one. Now, I've already kind of mentioned that this is a nice solid piece, this, when I was just doing the kind of first view, and when you start to physically get it in your hands and start to feel it, you can just tell it's, I don't even, yeah, it's, I was just wondering if it was like maybe, how do I put this, like maybe cheaply done and hollow on the inside, but it doesn't seem to be. Yeah, I definitely think, however, cleaning this up is going to be a horrible long process, and if you are obsessed with getting rid of mould lines, as you can see them all, you're going to be at this for a while. I'm going to admit I don't fancy doing the next 10 minutes just tidying up every single mould line, so what I'm probably going to do is, because it's a push fit, I'll probably be alright for just tidying it up in detail later, but I really want to get rid of those mould lines definitely before I paint it up. See, the problem is it's not going to slot together properly. Gosh, dang it, what a pain. It's not going to slot together properly if I don't get rid of some of those lumps. Right, number 7 now, which is this little end wall piece. Trying to make sure I've got rid of any work that's got a mould line that will be a pain later on, but I'll properly tidy up and get rid of all of those horrible mould lines at the end. For now, I just want to make sure that this builds. Right, so it's a push fit model, but what I would say is it might not be the best model to leave unglued. You can see it slides in like that, but and it's one of those you might want to leave it push fit for easy storage because it is quite a big building. Okay, next big lump, number 9. And then we're very quickly moving on to what you might call the fiddly bits. Again, just have a look at the mould lines. You probably really do want to spend a bit of time cleaning them up, don't leave them on. But I think if I could easily spend an hour just cleaning mould lines off this thing, so I'm not going to do a whole video of going, and here's a mould line that I'm cleaning up. Definitely get rid of those injection points. Be careful here because it's going to be very easy, I suspect, to snap things. See, I've got a little idea of something I might do with this building, but I'll do that on a different video. I've got an idea that might look quite good when I do it. Basically, I'm going to see if I can attach a street to it. Be careful because you can see here you've got this little bit there that I almost missed. So many little bits to clean up. So dead simple though, just pops in there. Again, you can see that you might want to glue it, but I think for keeping it stored, it might be best to keep some things apart. Now we need 5 and 6, which is this bucket. And the other half of the bucket, which is over here. Quick tidy up. Definitely a nice objective to add to your battles, but also a kind of really good place to add a bit of difficulty to work around. Okay, 2, 3 and 4, so that's these little bits. Now One thing that I am curious about is Age of Sigmar 4th edition is on its way now. And it's going to have Skaven in it. Now, one of my little predictions was Warhammer the Old World. What are they going to do about the Skaven? Because they've never really been updated in Age of Sigmar. They're still the old world models. That's number 2, isn't it? Now, it would be very unusual for Games Workshop to release a whole new edition of a game, include an army in there that doesn't have new models. So I am really wondering and really waiting to see what it will have in it. I also know my son pretty well, and if he sees that it's got Skaven in it, I think the obligation to buy might be there. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I've heard, obviously, probably like everyone else, we've heard the rumours. We know 4th edition's coming. We know it's going to be Skaven. But what are those models going to be? Are they going to try and put the old Skaven range in there and see what happens? That doesn't make sense to me. That's not Games Workshop's way of doing things. It might be their way of doing things on a kind of... suppose what you might call a sub-edition, like, say, the Ark of Omens, where it wasn't really a full edition for Warhammer 40k. And it had a few new models in there, but it also had quite a few old models in there. But it doesn't feel like something they would do on a whole new edition of Age of Sigmar. I suspect we're getting new Skaven miniatures. Even if they have the same names as the old miniatures, I still suspect we're going to see something new. Right, let me work out how this goes on. So... like that. Yeah. So now, if these new Skaven that are coming along turn out to be well, if this Skaven army turns out to be a new one in the Age of Sigmar box, that bodes well for Skaven players for the old world, doesn't it? Because that means that the Skaven line gets freed up and moved across. And the Skaven line, if I remember correctly, in the old world, it was pretty new when the old world closed down, so a lot of the models were quite up to date. That's how I recall it anyway. Right, what else have we got here? So we've got 8 and 12. So 12 is here. Going to do these separately, so I'll clean up 12, put it on, and then I'll get 8 out because it looks like it's going to be easy to confuse them. So 12. Oh no, 12 goes on the inside, like this one. Do you know what? I've just seen this here while I've been turning things about. Internal injection point. There we go. And then number 8. Is over here. this outer edge here. Okay, now if we get it into that position, then this part clicks over here by the look of it. Let me see. It's like 3 little pins that slide in. We've got this bucket that hangs over here. Again, a couple of pins that just kind of slide in. You might decide to paint that separate, but it shouldn't really be much of a problem painting it while it's on. And finally, 10 and 11. So here's number 11. Goes at this back one over here. Just be careful that you don't push too hard. Brace it with your finger, I think. It is this one, is it? No, hang on. No, because I've got number 11, haven't I? So this one's 11 over this side. And then finally, oh gosh, what an easy build this has been. Number 10. At this back part, hold that safe so I don't snap it, and there we go. That's how simple that is. I'm glad that was a push fit because that just made life so much easier. Right, there we go. That's our domicile shell, and it looks really nice actually. I kind of like the look of it. It's really good. Right, it's up to you if you want to glue it together. I'm not going to glue it together at the moment anyway. I'll make that decision later on. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. See you next time.